Now, the 5.56x45 is most commonly recognized as the mainstay military round, being featured in a multitude of rifle platforms across the globe. However, there was one caliber that very nearly took its place. What's up, guys? Skippy Africanus here, and welcome back to another Cartridge of the Week episode, this week featuring the 222 Remington Magnum. Now, this round kind of collaborated hand in hand with the regular 222 Remington, which we do have another video made previously on this cartridge in particular. So if while seeing me go a little into the 222 Remington, you're curious on that specific cartridge, I will of course link the video in the description so you can check it out. Anyways though, before we get into this cartridge's history, use, and all that stuff, we will first do what we always do and take a look at the head stamp, which on the top reads Rem-UMC, standing for Remington-Union Metallic Cartridge Company, aka the ones that made this specific cartridge. And of course on the bottom it reads 222 Mag, which is for the caliber 222 Remington Magnum. So now another thing to get into real quick before we get into the 222 Remington Magnum is a clarification of terms, because I guarantee you if I start saying that the military used a 223, a bunch of people are going to try and pull a, well actually they used a 5.56. Now, when it comes to discussion of these early trials, the name of the cartridge being tested was referred to as 222 Special initially, and then later as 223 Remington, in order to avoid confusion with the plethora of other 222 cartridges being tested. The 5.56 designation would not be received until actual adoption of the cartridge in September of 1963, when it would receive the official designation of cartridge 5.56mm ball dash comma M193. So now anyways, with all that out of the way, let's get into the history of the 222 Remington Magnum itself. Now, in short, it would begin with the creation and quick popularity of the basic 222 Remington, this cartridge right here. This cartridge would be introduced in 1950 and would quickly take off as both a varmint and bench rest target rifle cartridge. Now, this cartridge is in a way similar to the 223 Remington, just being a little bit less powerful and tending to feature lighter bullets. In fact, funny enough, countries that outlaw war calibers, guns like your AR-15, will often be found chambered for this exact round. Now with this in mind, firearm designers like Armalite would see promise with this cartridge and begin experimentation with it, and what they found was a need to increase case volume in order to achieve their desired results. So they would have Remington produce a cartridge with a longer case body and a shorter neck, which is what they would dub the 222 Special, essentially your 223. At the same time, however, Earl Harvey over at Springfield Armory would do something similar, having Remington lengthen the case as well as shorten the neck, though not as short as the 222 Special, with this cartridge being designated the 224 Springfield. This cartridge would prove to be a major improvement over the former 222 Remington, however, not enough of an improvement for it to be dropped from testing in favor of the 222 Special. This would not spell out total death of the cartridge, however, as Remington would begin selling it to the public in 1958, changing its name from 224 Springfield to 222 Remington Magnum, which I imagine was a good idea, as it let you know between the two 222 cartridges which was the lighter and the stronger of the two. Now, while this cartridge would become reasonably popular, it wouldn't, come close to the previous 222 in popularity, and this is primarily due to the introduction of the 223 Remington in December of 1963 to the civilian public. As has been the case, mainstay military cartridges tend to also become popular with the civilian market, at least down here in the US, and the 223 Remington would practically kill off both the standard and Magnum 222 cartridges, with the standard variant sticking around for a little bit longer and in greater numbers thanks to, in part, due to its older age. And this can actually be seen today, as while one can find a variety of different brands and types of standard 222 Remington, the 222 Remington Magnum is a lot more limited and a whole lot more pricier. Now, all this considered, how exactly does the 222 Remington Magnum actually stack up with the 223 Remington, and for that matter, while we're at it, the standard 222 Remington? Well, on average, with the 222 Remington Magnum, you're looking at a lighter bullet selection, typically ranging from around 40 to 55 grains, with velocities ranging from about 3,800 feet per second on the lighter bullets and nearly 3,300 feet per second on the heavier 55 grain bullets. Now, keeping in mind that for both the standard 222 and the 223 Remington, that there are a wide variety of different loadings, we'll stick with the same 55 grain bullet for both of them just for an ideal comparison for the velocities. And also do keep in mind that all three of these cartridges use the 224 diameter bullet. Now, loaded with a 55 grain bullet. Remember that we're looking at a velocity of around 3,300 feet per second on the 222 Remington Magnum. With a 55 grain 222 just regular Remington, we'll see it go a tad bit slower at around 3,100 feet per second. Now things get interesting with a 55 grain loading of 223, as we really only see about a 60 feet per second loss, with the velocity sticking at around 3,240 feet per second. Now, also to add for reference, all of these loads were run through a 24-inch barrel. But as we can see, the 222 Remington Magnum is pretty darn close in terms of velocity to the 223 Remington. It just turns out it wasn't close nor better enough to beat it in military trials. But anyways, I think that is going to do it for this week's Cartridge Week episode featuring the 222 Remington Magnum. I hope y'all enjoy the video as much as I personally enjoyed making it, and I will see y'all next time.